They never told you about the war that begins the moment you say yes to Jesus. They painted salvation as a peaceful transaction, a simple prayer, a moment of relief. But beloved, there is something happening in the spirit realm that will shock you to your very core. The enemy has been watching, waiting, and the moment you cross over, all hell literally breaks loose. Look at this precious soul, so innocent, so trusting, believing that salvation is the end of their struggles. They think the hard part is over. But what they don't know is that their decision has just sent shockwaves through both heaven and hell. Every demon, every principality, every power of darkness has just received an emergency alert. They walk away thinking they've found peace, thinking the battle is won. But beloved, they have no idea that invisible armies are mobilizing around them. They cannot see what I'm about to show you. The curtain is about to be pulled back on the greatest deception the church has perpetuated. That salvation makes life easier. What if I told you that everything you think you know about spiritual warfare is backwards? What if the real battle doesn't begin when you fall into sin? What if the real battle begins when you get saved? Because hell has just lost one of its prisoners and they want them back. Do you feel that strange unrest in your spirit since you got saved? Those thoughts that came from nowhere, those attacks on your mind, your family, your finances that seem to intensify after you said yes to Jesus. You're not going crazy. You've just entered the war zone. The Spirit of the Lord is pulling back the veil tonight. He's about to show you what really happens when someone gets born again. And I warn you, what you're about to witness will forever change how you see salvation. This is not your grandmother's Sunday school lesson. Right now, across this city, across this nation, precious souls are getting saved. And every single one of them is walking into the same shock. The shock of discovering that salvation is not escape from the battlefield. Salvation is conscription into God's army. For too long, the church has sold salvation like fire insurance. Get saved and go to heaven when you die. But they forgot to mention that the moment you transfer from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of light, you become enemy number one to every demon in hell. Can you hear them? The enemy is calling an emergency meeting. We lost another one. They're screaming. Deploy everything. Send fear. Send doubt. Send depression. Attack their family. Destroy their finances. Make them regret their decision. Look how quickly it begins. Just hours after their salvation, the attack commences. Thoughts they've never had before start flooding their mind. Did you really hear from God? Maybe you're just being emotional. Maybe this Jesus thing isn't real. This is happening to every new believer tonight. The systematic, calculated assault on their newfound faith. Because hell knows something the church forgot to teach. The first 72 hours after salvation are the most critical in determining whether that soul will stand or fall. The demons that once had legal right to torment them are furious. They're coming with chains of old habits, shackles of familiar sins, trying to drag these newborn souls back into captivity. But they don't know. They don't know what heaven is about to do. But even as hell mobilizes its forces, even as demons sharpen their claws and ready their weapons, there is movement in the throne room of the Almighty. The King of Kings is rising from his throne, and he's not about to let his children fight this battle alone. Do you hear that sound? Like thunder rolling across the heavens. That's the sound of the angelic armies receiving their marching orders. Go, says the Lord. Surround my children, hedge them about, let no weapon formed against them prosper. And so the stage is set. Heaven versus hell, angels versus demons, all over one precious soul who has no idea they've become ground zero for the greatest battle in the universe. The war for their eternal destiny is about to begin.